Free Freddie! Love is Blind is crazy good right now. And not just because we have attractive with less drama. If you've watched the show, then you know we're going to start with Sam, Nicole, and Benaiah. Stay all the way to the end of the video because trust me, bro, promise me that you'll trust me. This is gonna be good. I've never seen more red flags in the first pod conversation than with Sam. He was consistently throwing out red flags left and right, and Nicole was not seeing them. She was wading through a sea of red flags with him. Every word out of his mouth was about his appearance or about himself. Even when he talked about love and marriage, he phrased it like, just need to find someone to love me for this, or I just wanted someone to love me for the rest of my life. What about loving each other, Sam? Did you think about that? No, you did not. Because you're not even sure that you love the person you proposed to. Twice in this show so far, he said, I think that I love you. And the first time was right after he proposed to Nicole. I've heard people online say that Nicole is the villain, but that's not what I think. I just think she ignored obvious and continued red flags, which is a problem. But in my opinion, doesn't make her a villain. We've all made poor choices in the people we date. I get it. But she chose the illusion of safety in Sam's constant lies over the genuine calmness and safety of Benaiah. Benaiah warned her. One of the other women in the pods warned her. I don't remember her name, but the other woman in the show basically said that Sam was telling her the exact same things as he was telling Nicole. Yet Nicole chose to ignore all of that, at least at first. When Nicole and Sam met for the first time, it was one of the most awkward scenes of the show so far. Her body language was screaming that she had made a major mistake. Not only did she put a ring on the wrong finger, she shook her head while saying yes. She looked visibly shaken by the weight of her wrong choice. I do give her credit for listening to her gut and going along with her intuition when it would have been really easy to just go with it at that point. I mean, she was already engaged to the guy. She had already chosen him over Benaiah. And the amount of times Sam said, trust me, was absolutely insane. If anyone says trust me that many times, the last thing that you want to do is trust them. Thankfully, Nicole was able to call things off, meet up with Benaiah, apologize, and accept his proposal. I'm super happy for them, at least so far. But if I was in Benaiah's shoes, I don't know that I would have been able to get over the feeling of being a second choice. I would have accepted her apology and tried to make peace, but I don't think I've been ready to propose right away. Kudos to them for embracing love, though, and going for it. I just about screamed when they showed up on the honeymoon in Greece. But before we get into all of that, we need to talk about Freddie and Catherine. These two go to the gym more every day than I go all week. That's actually not true, but they did bond early over going to the gym twice a day. And I don't know about you, but I don't think that kind of conversation should be allowed on the show because it clearly indicates a certain level of health or a certain type of physical appearance. Now, just because you go to the gym all the time doesn't mean you have six-pack abs or a perfect physique. But let's be honest, that conversation is just a sneaky way to let people know that you think you look good, and you probably do. Anyway, they hit it off immediately, got engaged, and ended up doing the Devil's Tango twice in Greece on the honeymoon. At least so far as what we know. Catherine gushed at his good looks ever since laying eyes on the man. I guess he looks okay. By the way, if you hear noise in the background, there's a storm going on, other things, but we're just going to keep going with the video. I hope you'll hang with me. Let's talk about her interactions, Catherine's interactions with the other contestants. Now, I'm pretty sure she is the one who said, I can't wait to meet the guys when talking about meeting everybody on the cast. Which, okay, you know the women already, but how about saying can't wait to meet the couples? Something about her phrasing just sounded off to me. I don't know. When she took Ollie aside and started talking about how they liked the way each other looked, I thought that was very unnecessary and inappropriate. As I thought the hug was at the end of that conversation. The whole vibe of that conversation rubbed me the wrong way. Catherine seemed a little too flirty, and now that I know what happened when she met Sam, I just think that she's major trouble. Freddie deserves better, in my opinion. The way she was throwing herself at Sam, punching his arm, talking about trading numbers, It just, to me, gave off major flirting vibes. Apparently, other people thought so too. I mean, just look at some of these Reddit comments about cheating and then straight up physical flirting with Sam. Punching his arm, cry me a river. She's projecting so much. And then Flashy Consequences said, it's the first episode I've ever watched twice. It's even worse because you see more of her flirty behavior and Freddie in the background. It truly is horrific. And then it was so gross to watch. As far as we can tell, Freddie has been nothing but kind. I just watched this episode and came to this subreddit, and you're the first person I've seen to mention this, which seems a bit weird because that was crazy to watch. It was so cringe. She was throwing herself at him like, let's trade numbers and stuff. That was insane. Ollie and Demi, let's talk about them. I wanted to root for them from the beginning. I wasn't sure if they were going to make it to the proposal, but they did. Everything seemed fine until that Ollie and Catherine conversation. Well, Ollie did seem reluctant to pursue a physical relationship with Demi, didn't make eye contact with her all that much, which could be telling signs of trouble. At least that's what I thought at the time. But it wasn't until that conversation with Catherine on the couch in Greece that we saw a striking difference in how he interacted with her versus Demi. He was all eye contact and smiles with Catherine. He was fishing for compliments on his looks and his beard. And really, I think he was the one to bring up whether or not Catherine liked the way he looked. I've heard those kinds of conversations in other versions of the show. So maybe the directors and crew behind the scenes are encouraging that kind of talk. But still, they didn't have to do it. And I don't think it helps anyone to tell what is basically your ex that you're attracted to them, particularly when you're on your honeymoon with your partner. It doesn't seem appropriate to the situation at all. The way Demi responded to me was very relatable. And I wish at that time Ollie had reassured her, talked with her right away instead of pulling aside one of the other guys. But that's not what happened. However, let me say that we now know that Ollie has ADHD, which I think helps us understand at least some of his behavior, maybe all of it. I'm not saying it gives him a complete pass for everything, but I'm very glad that he opened up about his condition with Demi and was willing to talk about it so honestly. A lot of people said that this revelation made total sense to them and that it changed the way they viewed him and his relationship with Demi. This season has been a wild ride so far, and honestly, I can't wait to see what happens. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Trust me. Speaking of that, a huge way to help is to watch one of these other videos that are coming up on your screen right now. I'll see you there.